Good evening. My name is Rick Foxworth. I'm an SRNA at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. This is my wife, Lisa Foxworth. She's actually a CRNA here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Today we're going to talk about substance use disorder. Um, some of this information will be new stuff for me and as well for Lisa. Some of it will be a review that I'm sure she heard in anesthesia school as well. But nevertheless, we're going to get started. So first off, what is substance use disorder? Pretty easily defined as like a recurrent use of a psychoactive substance to the extent that it interferes with a person's health, economic, or social functions. Another way that we could put this is it's a chronic relapsing brain disease that is characterized by addictions to a mood-altering substance along with compulsive drug-seeking behavior. Everyone can be affected. It doesn't matter your age, gender, race, religion, or economic status. Substance use disorder is something that can affect everybody. Again, it is a brain disease. And all the drugs that people typically end up seeking they target the brain pleasure centers, particularly the dopamine pathways. And so ultimately, these drugs are just kind of flooding these pathways with dopamine, and they drive this drug-seeking behavior and make it really difficult for people to kind of shake this addiction. Why should CRNAs be concerned about substance use disorder? Mainly because there's evidence to show substance use disorder is one of the greatest occupational hazards associated with the anesthesia profession today. This is due to the fact that CRNAs, SRNAs have job life related stressors on a daily basis. I'm sure you know, like in an instance, the atmosphere in the OR can become very stressful. An anesthesia provider access to addictive medications very readily available. You give them every day. You're very knowledgeable about the pharmacology behind these things, and you see these patients. You're like, okay, they look so comfortable. I just want to make myself comfortable, and that's kind of how that slippery slope gets started. For SRNAs in particular, there's high performance expectations from preceptors in the OR and faculty members at your school. That's a big one. Another one is financial issues. Student loans, increasing debt, less time for yourself and your family. All these things can possibly trigger SRNAs to start using substances that might be difficult to get themselves off of. Kind of a profile of the CRNAs with substance use issues. 63% are male, most of which have 10 to 20 years of experience, or either 0 to 2 years of experience. In between there, not so many, but it's those early and more veteran anesthetists that seem to have issues with it. Signs and of behaviors of substance use disorder could be comes to work during scheduled off time, maybe request more call shifts than normal. Frequently, expresses desires to go on up lots of bathroom breaks or extra breaks, or maybe even carries around empty vials, of narcotic medications. The good news about this is the AANA has some great resources that you can utilize as a SRNA and as a CRNA to help with these. One of them is they call your state peer advisor or your AANA peer assistant helpline, which is right here, 1-800-654-5167, and basically for guidance on how to handle suspected substance use disorder among colleagues, or even if you notice it in someone that you were training. They'll be able to walk you through the steps on how to plan an intervention, which is very important. Things like kind of the hierarchy of command on that. For you would be always observe first, gather as much information as you can, talk to your chief CRNA or maybe the head of whoever the attending anesthesiologist is. Let them know what you're thinking, so you guys can develop a plan, but never confront a colleague by yourself. And again, the AANA has a lot of good resources that you can use to help you kind of work through that process. North Carolina is a mandatory reporting state, so as you know, if you do suspect substance use disorder in one of your colleagues or someone that you're training, you're required by state law to report that, and there's no repercussions for anyone who does something like that. Reports it, that is. Treatment for anesthesia providers who do suffer from it. It is available inpatient and outpatient rehabilitation centers. 28 days rehabilitation is the minimum. 90 days is recommended. You've got to be out of work for at least a year, but monitoring is going to continue for 3 years, and 2 of them you have to be working as a registered nurse, as a bedside nurse again, before you're back into the environment in the OR where all those drugs are so readily available. You've got those higher risk and triggers that can be right up in your face, so to say. Again, just be mindful of the fact that the ANA has plenty of resources for you if you ever need them. And hopefully, this isn't something that you or I will have to deal with. But if it is, then hopefully this will kind of help us be able to work through that a little bit better. So anything that you heard that sounded of particular importance?
Yeah, this was just a good review and some good extra new information. Like you said, we're high risk. Our friends and colleagues are high risk, and so knowing how to deal with that, what to recognize, and how to get people help is important. So we'll check out the AANA, and thank you for the refresher.
You're very welcome. Thank you.